happy Friday, everybody. For anybody who might be watching this in post, my plan is to go live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for as long as I can in the future moving forward. Now, if you were looking for me last Friday, it's because I was traveling. And if you want to make a guess as to where I was, I'm going to be making an Instagram post tomorrow with a little hint, and you're welcome to read into it energetically as well. I will leave it at that. And of course, by the time this has been reposted, that will already be up. And if you are not cross-following me on other platforms, what are you doing? Like, TikTok is apparently a threat to the United States government, allegedly. Note my sarcasm on that. Anyway, I think Meta's more, that's my own opinion. But I think anybody who's on TikTok is like, of all the things that we could fix in this country, like DMVs, or voting registration, or maybe like making more accessibility available to other people, you know, paying off medical bills, I could go on, right? Things that we could like maybe be working on as a country instead of focusing on TikTok, or maybe looking at Meta, you know. I'm just gonna put that out there. But anyway, hello everybody. You did not actually join any kind of like political thing. That's not what I do. But, you know, I have opinions, and it's Mercury in retrograde. I saw somebody who was from Wilmington, one of my neighbors. What's up? Hey, color guard chick. My sister did color guard. I would have done color guard, but I went to an art school and I did theater. So, hello Katie, hello Caitlin, hello Benny. I see some of my mods on. Krista, I see you. Krista's also the emotion and body coder on my readers team. Thank you for being here. Anna Quinn, hello. Joni. Oh, that was Mira's name before she was Mira. That was my past dog. So, hello everybody. Thanks for joining. Love to be on color guard. Yeah, that was cool. I was gonna pick out a grounding rock. Okay, so what rock should I have for this live? I think I know which one this is. Ta-da! Yes. Smoky Quartz. One of my faves. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, other Caitlin. Yeah. I now have more rocks in the... Do y'all want to see my rocks? Thank you for the gift. Who's that? Boo Boo? I just saw Boo Boo Kitty Strikes Back. I love that. Yeah, this is just going to be like a general whatever live, because Mercury in retrograde is, I actually sent a message to my mods. We have a group chat, and I was just like, who feels personally victimized by this Mercury in retrograde? I actually had to reschedule a consultation this morning because my computer was going haywire and the internet has been like weird. And then like for some reason, like I guess there's like a tower out or something with the phone towers, and I have like a different service, and I'm just like, so to the person, you know who you are, who I had to reschedule with, thank you so much for your understanding. Because I hate having to do that, especially because I was like, why doesn't this work? Yeah, lots of tech issues happening for sure. I know I'm not the only one. For the consults that I was able to keep today, yeah, we all just had a moment of like, Ooh, I want to say though, so for my 30-minute and my hour-long general consultation, or not my general consultations, but my mediumship and psychic consultations, I have a 10-minute follow-up chat at a later date that's included with the purchase price. And one of my favorite things happened with one of the follow-ups today. This person had booked with me and they were looking for some cross-validation, especially in regards to how they were sensing spirit and some of the spirits that were around them and how they could get a jumping off point. So we worked together. I was able to work with them, their energy, their guides, to better understand how they were receiving energy and let them understand a bit more about their psychic language. I gave them some tidbits of homework, that sort of thing. They were already well on their way. They just were looking for the confidence to be able to grow that. And for their follow-up today, they had been doing so great. And that's like the best thing. I even told them, I was like, I don't even know if you need a book. Like, it just sounds like you just needed to be pointed in the right direction of how you were receiving information psychically. And that's what I love doing. I love encouraging and inspiring people to be able to do this on their own. So that is my favorite kind of quick chat. Thank you for this crown, Wandering Moon. Okay, there you are. I was like, what? Who did? And Boanne, thank you. So, oh yeah, you spoke with me in September. Was very powerful. Yes. Thank you for sharing that with me. And thank you for making a comment for other people to read. I appreciate that. I see all the gifts. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get back to the rocks, but I just wanted to share that because it's inspiring to me to think about how when I talk to people, it helps to activate their senses and help them believe in themselves. And that's exactly what I want. I don't want people to feel like they have to come back and see me time after time after time after again, just because I want people to believe in themselves. It's really cool for me when people make bookings like twice a year or even like once a year, and we get to follow up and I really get to work with them on what they've been working on. It's been super, 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 super cool too when people join my Patreon and they take the courses and I can meet with them and they're like, I already looked into this and I already tried this and this is what happened. What do you think? Can you work with me on that? It's just been so cool. So yeah, I don't want them to be dependent. Everybody does have psychic ability, and I want to celebrate that because I also like to talk to other intuitive and psychic people because I like to stay in check and I like cross-validating. That happened a lot today. I did a guide reading and it was just so cool. I was able to connect with this person's guides, talk about what kind of being they were, where they were from. I got the personality, I got the looks, and this person had already been sensing these things and I didn't know all the ins and outs of the details. So I eventually, at the very beginning, I was like, hey, thanks so much. I want to hear what you have to say. Let me read into it first so I can be unbiased, and then let me present the information to you, and then you tell me if that matches what you've already been working on. And it did. And that's exactly what I want. It's so exciting because it's validating for me as a reader in real time, but it's also validating for them. And so we just get to sit there and celebrate with each other, which is super cool. Let's see. Bilana, if I'm saying that right, Bilana Underback, got my Rupert's protection bracelet last week and I love it. Yay! Yes, I'm wearing mine. This is one of them. They also come in a navy blue. Lala Lotus Co. makes these. And I'm also, this is a bracelet that I commissioned from Lauren, who is Lala Lotus, to gift to my mods. So I wear it for my lives, but I also wear it on my out and about. And all of the mods are different beads. And I talked to all of y'all about that. So yeah, I'm a believer in Lauren's work. I was so grateful when she came to me for a consultation and then she gave me a gift of some of her jewelry and I felt it and I was like, whoa, this jewelry is so clean. It's so well put together. It's Reiki'd. It's beautiful. It feels great. And then it was about a year later that I contacted her again and I was like, hey, what would you think about doing a collaborative project? And that is how the Rupert protection bracelets came about, but there's also the Jimothy Adventuring keychain. There is the Molly Night Out choker. These are the Molly Night Out earrings. If you see them, they match. I'm not wearing any of her necklaces right now. But then there's also the Rebekah the Ghost Guide necklace, which I often wear for consultations as well, because it has some of my favorite stones on there. And if you're interested in that, the link is in my bio, also in her bio. She's also on my readers team. So she reads oracle cards. I got a reading from her. I loved it. It was so, I was just so inspired by it. And she does Reiki as well. So didn't know I'd be giving a shout out to Lauren, but Lauren, if you watch this someday, you know I just appreciate you so much. So cool. Yeah, let's see. Rebekah, a fellow Rebekah, the choker and the bracelet are great. Yes, thank you for saying that. Yes, remember the live. Thank you for being here. I was going to tell you what's in my bag of rocks. So I knit this. I don't knit for anybody else. I just knit for me because it allows my hands to do something. That's why I have a rock in my lap most of the time, because I like to fiddle with stuff. So this is what I chose tonight. It's a fun thing. This is smoky quartz. And then I got 2 new rocks. but it looks like I'm pulling out, I think I know what this one is. Yes, okay. So this is, I believe it's quartz with like tourmaline points in it. Tourmaline, if you're not familiar, looks like this when it's all together. Okay, so that's one. This was gifted to me by Emily and Crystal Lynn during the Sacred Spaces gathering. I carried it with me. And then this is a new one, and I'm looking it up because it is new. I literally got it yesterday. This is, if you know what it is, you can comment it. I'm gonna look at the photo. Let's see. This is a black opal. So that's a black opal. I'm curious if anybody got that. Tourmaline quartz was the last one. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that gift, Dada. I didn't know there was like a heart me. I was like, what? Yeah, okay. So yeah, this is black opal. What is it good? Enhances intuition, supports emotional healing, powerful stone for those crabs and water signs. Willpower and light energy, whatever that means. I got it from a place in Raleigh called Holy Rose. They recently expanded, as in the last like 4 years since I've been there, and I'm very happy for them. Their store had fae energy and angel energy, and when I walked in, I had to shield, not for a bad reason, but I felt the energy being like, you should touch this stuff, you should buy this stuff, you should buy this stuff. I've noticed this in metaphysical shops. Sometimes like folks will actually just activate their shop to do that, which is smart business. However, I want to be sure that I'm getting what I actually need rather than just like spending all the place. So yes, this is a black moonstone. I think this was a gift from Matt, who's on my readers team and is the tarot reader on my readers team. And Matt is also the co-host to the Patreon course this month, which is on tarot. I asked Matt to tell me the things that they wish they had known when they were first starting out with tarot, which I know some of you are first starting out with tarot. So I was looking for more the advice of the mindset rather than just the advice of learning cards, because I feel like there are a lot of places you can learn how to read cards, like from the technical aspect of it. Also, I did ask Matt on the fly for a quick 3-card reading, and I had my ass handed to me because I asked for it. I told my guide team, I was just like, all right, let's make it big. Like, I want to make a big reaction. Like, let's go. And oh, but they did. So, that's a Patreon exclusive. So yeah, okay, let's see, the second to last, this is a piece of copper. This is from the Smithsonian. I got this, I think it was like 2018 or 2019. And then last rock that I keep in here is, this is a garnet. And I like all these because I can hold them like this. And garnets are for balances energy, considered lucky stone for love, success, and business. Balances passion and sexuality. Okay. That was an intentional lisp. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm just going through some comments, checking in. I'm seeing some of the Patreons. What's up? What crystal is in the necklace? Like the light green color? So this is a quartz. It's from a horse rescue farm in North Carolina. This is citrine. I wear it for abundance. And then this is black obsidian. And this is a deer antler. I think it was just found in the woods. And this is electrified copper. And it's turned green over time because of the copper. So, shuffling them up. Yeah. So those are just some of my rocks. Here's a show and tell. Okay. So, yeah. For Rebekah, I like touching stuff. Yeah. Strong urge to the color in my walls from Paul John's life. the wallpaper, the gold. I like the gold. Somebody asked about my tent earlier. Yes, I work out of a tent because why not? It's actually a form of sensory deprivation so that I don't get distracted. Yeah, so that it makes me happy. Do I need this to do readings? No, I used to do readings out of my bus. Which may she live on well with her next owner. That was, goodness, over a year ago when she was, taken out to the next big adventure. I do miss bus life though. I really do. But we all make choices. And my choice is not bad either. So, but yeah, this is my sensory deprivation tent. It's also really good for recording because it eliminates echo and it just makes me happy. It's tapestry and wallpaper and something nice to sit on. So I do readings from in here. In fact, because of the energy of Mercury in retrograde, I am also in the tent again this time. I'm not always here for my lives. I also did a live from outside, so if you missed that, it is on YouTube if you are so interested. So yeah, just catching up with comments real quick. Ooh, Wandering Moon used to live in a bus. Loved it so much. Yes. Thanks to Stella. Stella says loves my videos. Yay. That is the tapestry like a floral mandala? Yeah? Yeah? But it's, I can't move the camera. Maybe I can. Hold on. Me with my limiting beliefs. Hold on. Okay, so that's what it looks like up top. My ring light. I believe I showed my Patreons recently. I was like, this is what my tent looks like from another angle. Oh, you have one! Yes! Nice. And a matching shower curtain. That's cool. Love that. Love that. Cool. Yeah. It is like a little nest. I encourage, the world is very loud, and I don't think that's just a neurodivergent or a neurospicy thing. I think we all deserve little spaces like book nooks and little holes, and for me it's making a tent. So if you need any sign from the universe to build yourself a tent and be happy-go-lucky, this is it. From Rebekah the Ghost Guide to you, or from Spirit to Rebekah the Ghost Guide to you. Oh, I love that. Brandy said, I love my tiny space. Coming home feels like a hug. See, yes, absolutely. Can't stand being in a crowd. Any advice for how to tell if you're shielding properly? So, well, one, you won't feel like anything is getting in you. Like your thoughts will be your own. If you're picking up on psychic information, it'll be happening around you, but it should not be directly affecting you. Different shields will work different ways. Yes, have a tent in your living room. I wanted to be an adult for most of my life. Why? Because I wanted to do what I wanted. And people are like, oh, but you have to pay bills. And I'm like, uh-huh. And I get to build tents. And I get to eat when I want. And I get to eat what I want. And I get to do all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah. Oh, that's great. Winston's mom, also have your own room. Own space is necessity. That's the thing. I don't think I need like an entire room just because I don't have so much stuff. I'm not saying that you do. And I respect, whatever. I'm more of a closet person. Just give me a closet. Like I'm literally in a closet right now. Ooh, okay, so here's a good example. Katie said, I shielded before I went to visit someone in the hospital, but after leaving, I felt exhausted. Okay, so you want to be sure that your shield is coming from the ground, like that you're pulling energy up and moving it around you. You want to be sure that your shield is not coming from you because you only have so much energy. Your shield should not be working against you. It should just simply exist around you. It's kind of like if you were to carry a shield, right? You want to practice having it on, so you're not just like running into battle with the shield, right? So that way you build up the strength in your arm. So I would say if the shielding is exhausting, practice putting it up just for the day to day and make sure that if it is getting exhausting, that's a good that's a good chance or good opportunity for you to be like, ooh, let me recalibrate. Where is the energy coming from? Am I getting exhausted? That kind of thing. So your shield should not be exhausting you. And I'm going to say it may not have been your shield that exhausted you. It may be that your shield wasn't enough to keep the other energies out. So that's another thing too. Like if you're getting exhausted and you're like, okay, maybe I need to up my shield. Maybe instead of like a glowing ball, I need to have a brick wall. Remember, your shield can be whatever you want it to be. Pick something that empowers you. And I would say pick something that has a consequence to it. Like, I know a lot of like light and lovers out there are like, I am a white light. And yeah, that's a really good start. And maybe that works for you. And if it works for you, that's great. You know, like I don't want to sit here and be like, everybody has to shield up. I live a life where I need a lot of shielding. I live in one of the most haunted cities in the United States. That's Wilmington, North Carolina, for anybody who's just joining me. So often when I've traveled, like St. Augustine and New Orleans and Gettysburg, like people are like, oh, you better be ready because those places are really haunted. I get there and I'm like, oh, this feels like home. Wilmington is like really haunted. Charleston, Savannah, St. Augustine, Gettysburg, New Orleans, parts of Philadelphia, like they feel like home. Boston. Yep. I'm just like, haunted. There are ghosts. The Seattle Underground was one of them. Yeah, I'm like, y'all forget. Y'all forget where I got most of my content from, ? But anywho, so because I go to these really haunted spots, and I'm also going to assist, like I'm going to understand, I'm going to meet spirits, I help some of them move on. Sometimes I just help some of them get unstuck so that they can do what they want to do. But yeah, I like to have consequence to my shields. Because remember, okay, it's not because I'm trying to fight folks. It's because I want folks to see that I'm serious and I just need some distance. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to look scary to the ghosts. And I'm like, well, sometimes the ghosts want to scare you. So how is it fair for them to scare you and not to just protect your own boundaries? This is a boundaries conversation. So, for example, okay, let's use a real world example. So let's say somebody turns the corner on me and I'm walking on a sidewalk and they, it looks like they're about to pull something out of like a jacket or something. Now, me, and I've had to do this before because I've lived in DC, Washington, DC was a school of hard knocks for me. But anyway, like, what would I do? I would pull out my keys and like, I don't have to immediately like go for them or anything like that, but I will hold them out and just kind of be like, all right. And here's some examples. Like, let's say he was just pulling out his phone or something. Why is it a man? Oh my goodness. Well, okay, I guess it's a man in this scenario. Eek. Let's say this guy is like pulling out his phone. He might see me do that and he might be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then that's a chance for me to be like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, experience and that kind of thing. Or he might actually be trying to pull out a weapon and try to rob me or something. So in that context, he should know that I will be prepared to defend myself. He has a choice to make on whether or not he approaches. Or we can just kind of do like a standstill and he can be like, ooh, I'm uncertain about this. I'm holding my phone because you might threaten me, but I'm also holding my keys. So we might just have a moment of like, hey, we good? Or like, maybe I can cross the street, or maybe we can have a conversation from afar because we don't know each other. Thank you, Jacqueline. So remember, it's not you being mean. It's you saying, hey, I don't want you to like affect me or touch me or do something without my consent. It's just in a spiritual sense. So going back to the subject of shielding, one of my shields is actually inspired by this. So it's covered with obsidian and it's got like horns poking out of it. It's got copper poking out of it. It looks kind of bloody. It's very inspired by the underworld. And yeah, I put that up when I really don't want to be messed with. I don't use it very often, but I have used it in the past. And it really saves me time and energy when some folks look at that and they're like, woo, there's something around her that I don't want to mess with. And I'm like, correct. I'll talk to you from afar. And then I know for sure if somebody is going to go for me or something like that, well, they can see it. It's not an accident to run into an energy like that. So that's when I know, ooh, this means me harm, because it's not respecting my boundaries. Anywho, thank you for the gifts. I literally scrolled down to see who had given me some of them. Thank you, Meg. Cool. Hydration is great. Let's see. Yes, thank you. Thanks for sharing the live. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate them. Oh my goodness. From Washington State. Hey, I was just talking about Seattle. Hey, Paige. P.S. Paige, I hope you don't mind me saying, I won't say like a bunch of details or anything. Paige is a part of my Patreon community, and what you and the other person, should you like to out yourself now, you two meeting up in the wild makes me so happy. Like, it's the coolest thing when people in my Patreon community, like, will talk in the social calls, or some people meet in the workshops that I host, and some people just, like, start talking on the posts that are on the page, and people just start talking from there, and they start DMing, and they start meeting each other in the real world and becoming friends and all that stuff. It makes me so happy, because that's what I want. I want people to not feel alone. I want people to feel grounded in their practice. I want people to feel supported in what they're doing, and I want people to grow with one another. And of course, that doesn't just mean spiritualism. That can mean anything in life. So that's why I work to harbor a community as I do. And wouldn't you know it, I have 700 Patreon members. 700. Like, some of them are free members, and just so you know, you can become a free member, and I don't release as much on there. It's more like newsletter related stuff. Sometimes I talk about like special perks and that sort of thing. Every now and then I might like slip out a like coupon code or something like that. But yeah, I think it's like over 700 people now. I just remember when I got to the big 700, I was just like, so, yeah, if you are curious about what that is, the Patreon is linked in my bio. I've got a lot of really great options. Thank you, Rebekah. Yay. Hey, Frank, in Leland. Okay, yeah, so for anybody watching, Frank said right over the bridge, the bridge that is open now for the Azalea Festival. Good luck with getting over here after that. Frank, you'll know what I mean. Can confirm Wilmington is creepy AF. Thank you, Frank. So, oh yay! Thanks, Paige. This community has brought me so much joy to my world. Yay! Yeah, Joey's in there. Oh, cool, Monica. Hi. I've always enjoyed your vids, but I've never seen you on a live. I'm happy to catch you here. Yay! Welcome to the live. They're pretty chill. I do repost all of my lives on YouTube afterwards. Yay, Paige. Thank you so much for bringing us together. Thank you for wanting to join the community. Oh, cool. Alana, if I'm saying that correctly, I'm in Wilmington now. Happy Azalea Fest. if you are partaking. Or you might be partaking in the Alt Azalea Fest. I might be partaking in not going outside this weekend. Ooh, okay, so from Liv, my best friend is just figuring out she's a medium, and he's starting tips and tricks for safely engaging. Goodness, I've got so many. I've got many on my Q&A playlist here and on YouTube. I've got my courses, but if that seems a bit overwhelming as somebody who's first starting out, then I understand. Really? So many people, and I'm saying this based on the comment section, so many people have come to me and said that they learned about their psychic abilities by watching my ghost skits. And goodness, I learned about my psychic abilities making the ghost skits. and like answering questions and going live and that kind of thing. So often, if we can see similarities in a story, it teaches us more about ourselves and what we do differently and what we do the same as others. So I would say, one, see what stories you can share that are uplifting and inspiring And 2, remember you don't owe it to anybody to use your abilities for anything besides yourself. That was a limiting belief that I had because people tried to guilt me a lot to be like, you have this gift. That means you have to exhaust yourself for other people. And I was like, why? What? And I did. Oh my goodness, did I ever. I used to do readings 4 days a week for 6 hours a day. And I was so dead at the end of my days. I was exhausted. It was really hard. Now I primarily 2 days a week with like some reschedules here and there. But I make editing content and I make courses so that people can learn how to do this on their own. But anyway, okay, going back to the advice. Mercury in retrograde, so I'm all over the place. 1, share uplifting stories. 2, understand it's a skill set. If you get too serious about it being a gift, you might think that you owe that gift to somebody. Give yourself first. I am a firm believer that spiritual growth is paired with mental health work. So you want to be sure that it's balanced. And it's the work that you do on yourself is the work that's going to carry on through other places. Let me think. Anything else? Yeah, just remember your boundaries. Just like anywhere in life, you can have boundaries with spirit too. Ground, cleanse, protect yourself or shield yourself, or cleanse, ground, shield. And I would say, I got these words from Emily Dexter. I always want to credit her with this because I took her class before I knew what I was doing, or before I was acknowledging what I was doing. I think that's an important distinction as well. Any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that are not mine must leave my energetic field now. Those are some of the most powerful words I've ever used, and I use them all the time, every day, because I want my space to be my space. Anywho, okay, so, hi. Oh, thank you, Meg. Said the courses are amazing. I appreciate you saying that. Courtney says, I just started the shadow work workbook. I'm excited to get into it. I wish you the best. I wish you the best as you do that. Love the belt. These are just pants, but I appreciate that. I think I got these from a local store. Either that or another small town place in Boone, North Carolina. Oh, great. Thank you, Liv. So watching me forever, Liv said I've been watching you forever, and this just happened. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, Liv, you were talking about you. Sorry, I totally took that like, oh, great. So if that's the case and you've been watching my stuff and your psychic abilities just kind of started growing, well, I'm an activator. Now, I don't work without consent. It's not like I'm putting things into my videos to make you wake up. No, that's not how that works. I tell stories, and people who are drawn to them oftentimes do have budding abilities. They just are learning more about them. So, other thing is the veil is pretty much gone. We're like a lot of planes of existence and timelines are merging right now. So we are getting more and more intuitive. So even some people who have never had like spiritual experiences or what they would consider intuitive experiences throughout their life are now beginning to have them, which is why it's so important for us to support each other, to stay grounded, and to keep our mental health in check. I went to therapy today and it was great. My therapist sessions, I don't know about anybody else, but like, so they're an hour long, right? I've been seeing a therapist for almost 3 years. Wow, I feel like I should send her a cake. I've never actually met her in person. It's all been online. That'd be funny if I just sent her a cake. I don't know anything. I don't know where she lives, obviously. But anyway. My therapist sessions. And I made a joke about this today. I will usually rant for like 30 to 40 minutes about my life. And then the last 20 minutes are her offering me advice on how to move forward. But like, she's so great. Like, I'm so grateful for her. Thank you, Collier. I just saw your gift. I know I've been missing some gifts, so I'm sorry if I missed offering gratitudes too, but I am grateful. But yeah, I basically just lay everything out. Like, some therapists, they have to like, you know, ask a lot of questions to get somebody to get to the point. Me, I'm just more like blah 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 blah. Help. And then it's just like, okay, well, here's the list of things that you can do and things you can consider and all of this stuff. And here's like where you could have more boundaries and where you could have less, like, not less boundaries, but like you could be more flexible and that kind of thing. I love therapy. I highly suggest it. A huge part of my spiritual awakening is through therapy, because they strengthen each other. Mental health and spiritual health are just like this. So I was probably a fairy in a past life. I see it. Interesting. That was from Punksy. So, goodness, I do know my soul structure. I got into soul structure more in depth after I found Bruja Bones, another Rebekah. She was with us for the Sacred Spaces gathering, and we did a live together. It was actually through the online community that I created through Patreon. Somebody shared a video of hers, and I was like, I need to follow her. Like, she gets it. This is exactly what I didn't know I needed. Like, I've been channeling this stuff and nobody else has been talking about it. How exciting. So I followed her, found out we were mutuals, and then we started talking, and I just so appreciated our friendship from there. But she at Sacred Spaces gathering during the, oh, thank you from Mary, thank you. She, for the speed reads, which is a special package that we offer for Sacred Spaces, read Soul Structure. And she actually taught a course on my Patreon about it, which is more like 201 subjects rather than like 101. So there's Fae, Alien, Ancient. Is Dragon coming about? I think she mentioned that before. I don't know if you're watching, Rebekah. It'd be really funny if like Rebekah was summoned and was just like this. And then, okay. Oh, and then Earth, which is Gaia spirits. Those who are specifically from this planet and not from somewhere else. So in that construct, I found out that I was what she considered dark fae. Which totally tracks. If you've seen any of my my Sassy Spirit Guide videos, yeah, Turnip is a part of my soul structure, and we have gotten very, very close as of late, I should say, and yeah, because of that, yes, I would say so, but it's not the Celtic kind of fae. It's not like this is underworld fae. Like Turnip, for example, is a Lampid, which is an underworld nymph. I could go into a whole thing on Lampids, but I'm not sure if I should without asking some permissions from my higher self first. But we share soul in that. Yes. So, where could you read up more on soul structure? I'm not sure. I feel like that would be a Rebekah question. She's Bruja Bones. I love her content. I'm also a part of her Patreon. I shared recently with my Patreon the patrons that I support, because I think it's important to support other people. Even though I'm friends with some of these people and I know them personally, I've learned so much from them that I do want to support them in different aspects, because that is energetic exchange. So, yes, Rebekah, yeah, because you saw it, said that there are some new soul types coming out too, but it's changing. Yeah, so that's why that would be a Bruja Bones question. Abby, I do not have a podcast. I feel like I'm kind of spread thin at the moment, just because I have my lives, I have my courses, I have my YouTube content, which requires a lot of editing, where I go to different like burial places and haunted spots, and I oftentimes will go with other creators and psychic mediums, and we'll cross-validate things, and I encourage people in the comment section to also write down what they get. I have some snippets from that in my TikTok as well. So I've got my long-form content, my lives, my short-form content, my skits, which take a lot of editing. Oh my goodness. I want to give y'all quality, so I really hope you like them. What else? I have my consults, which are twice a week. I am planning the next Sacred Spaces gathering with Crystalline and Emily, and that's a commitment throughout. I mentioned my live workshops that I have with people. That's on Patreon. I mentioned the social calls that we have on the online community. So yeah, I've been asked to do a podcast before. I think the closest you're probably going to get for now is just if you want to watch my lives after they go up. If you are on YouTube, that's where they go. But also I've gotten better about regularly giving out email notifications of those YouTube videos of when the lives go out. So, yeah. Would I be open to a podcast? Yeah, sure. I guess I would just need to something about editing or something or another. But I would consider my courses and my live reshares kind of like podcasts. It's not always visually stimulating, but I want it to be audibly interesting. So Serena, are you able to do readings from afar? How much? Yes, all of my readings are virtual because well, I have this cool tent and I like sitting in it. I've had some people who are local being like, hey, can you meet me at this coffee shop? Hey, can you do this, that, and the other? One, stranger danger. No offense. Well, stranger danger. And two, that means I have to drive there. That means I have to be in public and I have to ward down a space and then I have to drive back and all that stuff. So it's just really easier for me, and I think for everybody that well, we do these all virtually. Time and space do not matter to spirit. So that's how that can happen. It's really just like imagining like you're sitting right in front of each other. And this is something I also work with people on in Patreon. Like we did a readings trade, what was it, like 2 months ago? That was like super, super cool. I was on a live that was private for them. And then they were also doing pulls, like some people use tarot and rocks, and some people use other forms of divination or just their psychic skills. And we would just give general readings for different people. And it was the coolest thing. Because it's not only was like I able to get cross validation, you had like sometimes 15 readers in the comment section all cross validating each other at the same time. Like the comments were coming in right on top of each other, and it was so cool. Like we were getting validations on color schemes and flowers and birds and like specific things going on in a person's life, and it was so, so cool. So I want to do that again too. Anywho, back to the question at hand. If you want to look at what I offer for readings, it's all on my website. I offer things anywhere from 15-minute readings to hour-and-a-half long readings. And they vary from conversation, checking skill sets, to mediumship and psychic reads, like energetic reads and spirit guide reads, ghost reads, activation stuff, understanding your psychic language. And I also do intuitive business consult as well as soul journey readings, which the soul journey reading is one of my favorites. I keep getting this comment, it's like, wow, you're the main character in your life. And I'm like, but I'm not the only main character. We're all main characters. And I was like, okay, well, how can I celebrate that in other people? Past lives. So I get to work with people and I get to look at their past lives and be like, this is the main character that you were here, 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 here. And it is the coolest thing. Those past life readings are specifically based in what needs to be known for the present right now. And I work with a guide, so it's in part a guide reading as well. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, or if it sounds fun and you're just like, well, this person, I want to go hang out with this person for like 30 minutes to an hour to like whatever, let me know. All of my links are on my bio. I will never DM you about any, I was called to you, Nope. Call me millennial. I am an emailer. I have an assistant who helps me with that, and that's it. Email is safe. If anybody DMs you saying that they're me, no. Please block and report them. That's please. They are after you for money and they will not give you readings. That's not me. That's not how I do it. So, anywho, skipping through. Oh, what is a guide? I see a lot of questions about that. I don't know what that is. So, Amber, spirit guides. Everybody has them. I've yet to run across anybody who did not. They are a team or being who you work with, like through a contractual agreement on a soul level to assist you in moving forward in this life so that you can check all the boxes for the things that you want to do. That does not mean that they are omnipotent. That does not mean that they will tell you everything about themselves or everything that's coming down the hatch. That doesn't mean that they will know all of the future, but they do know what you're looking to achieve in this life, and they work with you to get there. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to be like, I'm going to make everything easy. Now, they try. However, life happens. Sometimes we need to learn lessons, and the lessons are hard. And it's kind of like if you love a kiddo, right? And the kiddo needs to learn, goodness, what do they need to learn? Learn how to ride a bike, okay? So there's a kiddo that needs to learn how to ride a bike. And you can hold the seat the whole time and make sure that they never fall. Thank you, Serena, if I'm reading that correctly. You can hold the seat the whole time and make sure they never fall. However, you're never gonna know if they're gonna be balanced or not. They won't know how to balance themselves either. So at some point, you have to let the seat go. Thank you, Shonda. Thank you. What is that? T loves lilacs. Thank you so much for the gifts. So yeah, at some point you've got to let the seat go and let them learn how to balance on their own. Does that mean that they will always stay upright? No. But how else are they supposed to learn? Spirit guides are like that. They are the ones, sometimes they hold the back of the seat. They might teach you how to do it. They might be helping you from afar, even if you're not fully aware of how they're helping you. Having a reading can be very helpful with that. If you're feeling drawn to me, I'd love to meet with you, though there are many other readers out there. I have a readers team, and there are readers across. So it's, whenever you're choosing somebody to work with, really, I like going to somebody to have a good time. You know, I go in open-minded and I'm just like, okay, let's go. Like, I want to have fun. I'm open-minded. Like, let's see where it goes. So if you're looking for a reader, thank you, Leah. Oh, that was cool. Like, went over my thing. I like going to readers that I feel like I could hang out with, because, you know, what is life but to have fun, right? Especially, this is spiritual stuff. Like, we take it seriously, but at the end of the day, we're still, like, here. Like, I guess that's what I'm saying. So, anywho, yeah, if you're looking to understand more about your goals in life and how your different spirit guides are working with you, if you're having trouble making that connection on your own, I would say consider going to a reader about it so they can help you. Remember, reader bias matters. So it might be of your interest to look into what your reader believes in and if that bias is going to affect your reading. For example, this is a very common example. Somebody who has a particular bias towards Christianity, even if it's like a Christian witch, may believe that all guides have to be angels. That's a bias. When I go into a reading, I want to go in as blindly as possible. I don't want to know, like, sometimes I'll ask if they have a belief practice just so I can be within their bias or like their constraints, and bias here isn't always bad. But yeah, guides are all shapes, sizes, colors, creeds, beings, species, elements. They can be so many things. I met a guide the other day that was a jester. I kid you not. He was a jester. And here's my brain. I go into it so blank. And I was like, that is so weird. It's like there's a hat and there's like these little, I'm hearing bells, like jingle bells. And like I'm seeing bright colors. And my client was like, I collect jester hats. And I was just like, well, how funny. So often we have connections to our guides, where it's likely things that you do enjoy, but they enjoy too. They can very much be like friends. So yeah, this person had an interest in collecting juggler hats, or excuse me, jester hats. And I was like, yeah, that's something you and your guide both enjoy. But me going in so blindly, I was just like, I see like the weird floppy antenna things with like jingle bells. And she was like, it's a jester. And I was like, it's the same thing. One time a spirit told me a spirit sign for somebody, and they said, I was like, okay, I'm seeing a bird it's like a striped bird with white chest and like black stripes, and like it looked like a cardinal head. It was like a red head. And the client was like a woodpecker? And I said, yep, that would be a woodpecker. My brain just forgot what those look like. So welcome to readings with me. This is basically what you get. Like, I don't go into like deep trance or whatever. Like, I like to balance out theta state with just being a real person. So if your guides have a sense of humor, here I am. Yeah, okay, so I'm going through the questions again. Yeah, I know some listeners are like that you're casual about it too. Yeah, some readers, if they need to be serious about it, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to judge somebody else's, like, what they need. Like, for example, I like having a tent. Nothing wrong with it. Some people would maybe want to be out in open field. Cool. I'm more of a let's have fun. Like, come meet with me, let's have fun. Yeah, never take yourself too seriously. Yep. You have the same wallpaper? Yeah, this is, I think, from the Wally world. I don't often go there. I found myself there and I was like, that wallpaper, I like that. Oh, thank you, Smooth Ladies. It's a fun name. Says I sound amazing. Love my playfulness. Thank you. Oh, cool. Well, great. Smooth Ladies, you convinced me to book a reading. I look forward to meeting you. Yeah, all readings are going to be on the link on my bio. I will never DM you about readings. They are all on the link on my bio, and I work only through email. As in, like, for confirmation, emails, and that kind of thing. All readings are done through Google Hangouts, but you can also call into that as well, if you so prefer. Yeah, okay. Interesting question, Finn. Do ghosts have an afterlife if they stop sending signs? Do you mean, like, are they in an afterlife? They can be. I don't want to put a blanket over everybody's experience. Oh, can people subscribe to these things? Thanks, Liz. Yeah, I never set up my subscription. Y'all asked me to do it like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, thank you so much. I have a Patreon. Like, that's my main thing. But yeah, for ghosts in the afterlife, it's possible that they did move on if you're not seeing the signs, or it's possible that they're busy. It could also be possible that they're kind of in an in-between state. There's been a lot of energetic shifts as of late, and so some folks have needed to be in an in-between state. Sometimes I tell people when ghosts sleep, it's like they don't manifest and they're just sort of like space somewhere. It doesn't mean that they're entirely gone every time. It just sort of means like they're in between for whatever reason. It's kind of like when we zone out, we're like there, but we're not there. It's kind of like that, but on a spiritual level. That's a metaphor that I'll use there. So, let's see. Okay, glad that makes sense. Thanks for commenting that. Oh, ding dong. In Bottega, I take it you're a part of the Altzalia Fest. So yeah. Anybody in Wilmington, go to the Azalea Fest. If you want to know where locals go during the Azalea Fest, that might be it. Or maybe you're a part of the Azalea Fest. I would need to look at the poster for that. So, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks for subscribing. I saw Liz subscribe, and I was just like, I don't even know what that means. So, thanks anyway. I need to work with Catherine on this. And we went live and people were like, Rebekah, you should get subscriptions. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I just turn on the camera and talk to y'all. So that's it. Shayla, haven't seen my videos in a while. Used to follow your stories. Hey, I've been posting, and I'm probably going to end this live in about 4 minutes. So if you want to go catch up, I have been posting ghost skits. I do pre-release all of my ghost skits, usually weeks in advance on my Patreon. That tier is $5. And like even $5 helps to support me so that I can have days where I take to film and edit and write, have experiences where I meet these folks to work with them and understand them better so I can share what I learn with all of you. So yeah. So Iris, how do you incorporate crystals, gems into your practice? I love your content. Thank you. I like holding things. Like right now I'm holding a smoky quartz. They ground me. I'm not so much like, it is magic, therefore I will be magic. No, I am magic, therefore the stone is cool. I don't want to tell other people what to do with their stones. I really use them for divination, and I use them for grounding tools. Like, I like wearing these. I like having that kind of centered groundedness. I go to stones that I am drawn to. I didn't know what this was when I got it, and then go figure it was citrine for prosperity, and I was like, well, that's really cool. I've always felt drawn to deer. And obsidian's one of my favorite stones, and that's how I got to this, and they make me feel better. I always say, like, stones are kind of like batteries, but remember, the equipment is you. It's kind of like any sort of thing that you might use for your practice. It is the judge, you are the machine. So yeah, I would say if you want to learn more about crystals, consider following Lala Lotus, who actually made these and made these. Lala knows so much more about the stones than I do. I just use them for divination. It's something called lithiomancy. I actually did a course on it on my Patreon if you want to learn. Oh yay! Conundrum finally catching live and not on YouTube. Oh no, Conundrum, I have some not great news. I'm gonna be going soon. But I'm glad you're here. Tubular Guard, hello from Australia. Very cool. Good morning, I imagine it is there. So, yeah, let's see. Oh, all these good questions. I am getting a bit tired though, just because I did consultations like throughout the day, when my internet was working again, and other technology, and etc. Thank you, Liz. So, yeah. I will answer this one last question. Indy asked, can you say anything about entity banishments? I will say, so often I don't have to banish anybody. In my line of work, I really try to look for the compromise. So often, the physical and the non-physical are just not understanding each other. I used to be afraid of a lot of things that I didn't understand, and so I sought out understanding. And in seeking out understanding, good night, He loves lilacs. In seeking understanding, I stopped being so afraid, and I started having more experiences, and I started to look at them through the lens of growth rather than the lens of fear. And that being said, if I am fearful of something, I stop. That's my boundary. I shouldn't be doing work if I'm afraid. I call for help. I call for my guides. I call for other people incarnate who can help me. I call, every now and then I'll call a deity. It's not very often, but every now and then I will, because I'm just like, whoop, this is above what I can do. So as far as banishments go, there are a variety of ways to do it. You can send them to another plane. You can make a boundary around your space and yourself. You can also cut lines if they are connected to you energetically. There's oh goodness, my brain it's reaching the end of my day, so I'm just like, yeah, there are a lot of ways to do that. There's sorry, I don't have a much better answer right now. I think the reason why I don't have the best answer is because I could go into so many complexities of options and different sorts of situations and experiences that I've had and things that I've met and all the sorts of things. That being said, hey, if any of you ever just want to like talk one-on-one for a little bit, that's what quick chats are for. I have them in 15-minute increments and 30-minute increments, and I did this because so many people were coming forward and they're just like, I just want to talk to you about this thing that happened to me. And I was like, I will listen. Booking information's on my webpage. Thank you, Spade. So if you just want to talk about this stuff, or you're like, hey, I'm doing this, this, and this, do you have any like general advice for me? That's what that is for as well. The price for general consultations or quick chat, I don't do psychic mediumship, though I will say I do get intuitive hits, but I don't include that in the price because I don't put the expectation on myself. So oftentimes people just want to talk about their experiences and ask me about my experiences in order to grow themselves. So if that's of interest to you, I love meeting y'all. I love just talking stuff. I love talking ghosts with people. And if you want to talk more about banishments, if you have something specifically that happened to you, I can tell you what I do. Or if you want to book a mediumship, a mediumship consultation, we can actually look into it together and I'll see what I can do for you. I wish I could say every consultation ends in a compromise. Nope. Every now and then I run across somebody and I'm like, woohoo, nope, that's gotta go. I have removed some things before. I've worked with other bigger beings to remove things before. It's not the first thing that I go for because oftentimes it is not necessary. But sometimes it is. Also, if you have a big bad, I would recommend booking with Catherine, who's on my readers team, who is the official malicious entity remover. When I need big guns, that's who I call. And now they help other people on my team. Or not just the team, but they help other people to do this thing. So if you are particularly concerned about that, I would say consider checking out what Catherine offers. So how do you spell the other Rebekah's username? Bruja, so that's Bruja, Bones, Bones. I win. Yes, Rebekah, Catherine is the chaos. And it's good to have that on one side, right? Yeah, okay, so I'm just checking in. Yes, thank you, those of you who've seen different folks on my readers team and given them love in my chat. I appreciate that. I've seen good news about Catherine here. We talked about Lauren earlier. I gave a shout out to Krista earlier. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, I am tapped. I think I'm gonna go do some self-care and probably take a bath. Yay me. So yes, thank you for being here. Yes, I'm seeing Krista's great. Paige, thank you for being here. Thanks everybody. Yes, thank you to Smokes. Yes, cool. Thank you, Lid Clean, if I'm saying that correctly, with my dyslexia. So yeah, anywho, okay. Yes, you have a wonderful night, day, wherever you are, crazy, or coffee crazy, I think that's what I read. Yes, and perhaps I will see some of you in a booking soon. But all the same, if you just continue to watch my content and leave a comment every now and then, I will certainly be just as appreciative. You as a collective have kept me going in many, many ways over the years, and I am so, so grateful to be able to share what I have learned with all of you. So thanks again for those of you who support me. Thank you to my Patreons, and thank you to those who I meet in consultations. Thank you, mods. I appreciate all of you so much. And remember, if you want to check anything out on my website, please go to the link in my bio. That's the only way to book with me or check out the services that I offer in any capacity. So anywho, good night everybody. Thank you for joining.